This most likely will be what the box says, and that would make it a Kodiak Cream, which would most likely be the Kodiak Cream Ale. And let's cover this one. This is actually a pretty solid one. If I remember correctly, there's a... Actually, this one may be the version, because it does have the arching here, but I think that I may have seen some of these that have a different design, but still very similar. So there's a couple things to call out here. First of all is that lucite design. So there's a couple of things that you will notice here is you'll notice this clear lucite or acrylic along with this line that goes through. That's going to be the actual image portion. And then they did do a kind of concave area here. You'll be able to notice that there slightly. With this, the logo or the design is relatively simple, relatively basic. So you've got the name, so Kodiak Cream Ale, and you've got this little mountain type design. So simple but fairly nice, and decent color blue, kind of a baby blue or sky blue. And with this one, you do see that it has a variation on the back. So typically this is going to be the front of the tap handle, anything that has the curving or arching or anything like that. And then most commonly, this will be the back, the flat portion. And you'll notice here, Kodiak Cream Ale. It says Kodiak Cream Ale on the front, and it says, "Thank you for serving," which is a nice little touch. I totally didn't realize that. So that would mean that most likely this was intentionally designed to be the back, so that the bartender, when they're looking at this and actually serving the beer, pulling this back, they're going to have that nice little "thank you for serving," whereas the customer is going to see that front portion there. So if you've ever ordered a Kodiak Cream Ale, one of the ones way back, if you were seeing a lucite design like this, typically those are going to be 60s, 70s, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe a little bit earlier even. So that would mean that if you've ordered one of these, then a lot of times this would be on the back there. And overall condition-wise, you'll notice that this one is in fairly solid condition. So it has a little bit of kind of wear, just very, very minimal, but overall fairly solid. This would definitely, if you see something in condition like this, totally worth picking up. Also, when you're looking at the insert here, it's worth noting that this is a slightly different design than typically what I've seen the brass ones be slightly more common. Whereas these ones, it's actually a curled metal insert that goes in there. There's actually a special insert tool that you can get to put it in. And this is a little bit like a spring, the way that is. Of course, not designed to be pulled apart, but just worth noting that it's typically not a solid unit of metal. It's just a curled unit of metal that's going in there. And that'll get you the normal North American threading, so that's going to be the 3/8/16, so it'll work on most tap faucets or tap handles.